Hey performers, listen, walking into auditions without knowing what to expect is exactly how talented performers keep thinking they're the problem. I've worked with so many performers who go into auditions completely blind. They don't know the format, they don't know what the panel is actually looking for, they don't know how they're being evaluated. So when they hear feedback like collaborate more or show more presence, it feels vague and personal. But most of the time, it's not about your talent. It's about not understanding the room you're stepping into, which happens every time you perform. An audition is quite literally an audition to if you are fit to be doing this professionally. Auditions have rules, and even when no one explains them. And if you don't know the rules, you end up playing the game on hard mode. If auditions keep feeling random or not aligned, it's probably not because you're inconsistent, but it is probably because you're untrained in how these rooms actually work, which is totally fixable. But if you don't fix it in order to pass an audition, I don't think you're going to be getting the results you want performing in real time. Oh, performers, your website is not a business investment. Right now, it is a money pit. A money pit. I see performers spend hundreds, sometimes even up to thousands on websites. They spend weeks tweaking fonts and then they wonder why nothing changes. There's no new inquiries, there's no new bookings, there's no new income. A website feels productive because it's safe. It lets you avoid pitching, follow-ups, and hearing no. So that feels good, right? But listen, I say this not to boast, but as data that I personally have made thousands upon thousands of dollars without ever once relying on a website. Not because websites are bad, but because they're literally unnecessary. So at this stage, if your website isn't converting, it's not an asset. It is basically just an expensive mood board. Build demand first, then consider maybe building a website to catch it. But honestly, you probably won't even need it then. If you are somebody who really struggles to make decisions, whether it's something as simple as if you want Sprite or if you want Pepsi, or something bigger like what your niche is, the truth is you're not humble, okay? You're actually just really terrified of making the wrong decision. Indecision isn't caution. It's fear cosplaying as thoughtfulness. It's also the comfort of staying stuck because at least being stuck is familiar. So you stall, you overanalyze, you outsource your authority so you don't have to own the outcome. And here's the part that you don't want to hear, but I'm gonna shoot you straight. Every time you don't choose, you are still making a choice. You are choosing stagnation. You're teaching your body that staying small is safer than becoming who you actually are. And after a while, you stop dreaming big because shrinking is what you associate with survival. Confidence isn't waiting until you feel sure. It's learning that you can survive disappointing yourself, other people, and your own expectations, and that even if you make the wrong choice, you can still come back from it. Have you noticed how everyone seems really tired lately? And listen, this isn't just another one of those woke videos, but this is how you can actually make an impact, okay? Hear me out. We're living in a time where people are so burnt out. They're glued to their screens and they're processing too much all at once. I mean, there's bad news, good news, chaos, highlights, all in the same scroll, and there's no space to truly feel anything fully anymore. We're either numbing out or distracting ourselves through it. And that's why live art hits so different right now. Different than anything else that we're currently experiencing in our life, and different than it's probably ever hit before. That's why presence matters. That's why performance lands deeper than content. You're not just entertainment. You're a nervous system reset in a world that is constantly on edge. If you're downplaying the importance of what you do, remember that people don't want to just watch something right now. They want to feel something deeply. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I live with something doctors call incurable. It's painful, it's chronic, and if there were even a small chance that a specialist could help me manage it better, not even cure it, but just manage it better, I would spend my life savings just to have that conversation. No guarantees, just the possibility of relief. You can probably tell I'm literally choking up right now just saying this out loud, because that's what humans do when pain becomes unbearable. We move toward anything that might change the outcome. We don't overthink whether we deserve the relief. We don't tell ourselves to just tolerate it quietly forever. But when it comes to your career pain, your daily dread, that low-level misery that hums in the background of your entire life, you normalize it, you intellectualize it, and you tell yourself that it's just adulthood and that this is how it's supposed to feel. The difference isn't that one pain matters more than the other. It's that you've been taught which pain you're allowed to take seriously. If you had a chronic toothache, if you had a cold for more than 2 weeks, I guarantee you're gonna go get checked out and get help. So why is this pain, the pain of your career, the pain of your 9-to-5 job, the pain of not actually pursuing your dream, the only pain that you're just expected to live with? We have doctors, mentors, teachers, bosses, authority in almost every aspect of our life. I mean, even driving, it's controlled. So why is it that when it comes to your career, that's somehow the frontier that we're just supposed to wander on without any guidance and never actually establish it? I'm going to be blunt. If you keep explaining yourself, you start sounding like you're pitching the Wizard of Oz. Because this, because that, because of the wonderful things he does. At some point, it stops sounding confident and starts sounding more like you're trying to convince yourself. You're not clarifying your value. You're negotiating it in real time. And hey, now you've taken people down the yellow brick road of your logic, and they're lost in your explanation instead of convinced by your pitch or your presence. The more that you over-explain, the more you give people room to doubt you. Power doesn't come from just piling on reasons, it comes from stating what is and letting it land. So state your value, pause, and let the room catch up. I believe full-heartedly that you did not stop wanting the life that you dreamed about. You stopped believing that you are the person who gets to have it. I know that you still want it, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this right now. You still think about it. You just quietly decided it's not realistic for you. And that decision didn't come from some objective assessment of your potential. It came from a moment where you tried, got shut down, or got embarrassed, and you let that moment become your entire identity. So the desire is there, but it's buried under the story of that's for other people, not me. Which is so wild because you didn't arrive at that story through truth. You arrived at it through one or two moments that got way too much power over your entire life and your dream. If deep down you still desire the life that you know you really want, the problem isn't motivation, it's the story that you're telling yourself about who you are allowed to be. If you were in real physical pain, you wouldn't negotiate with it. If your eyeball was in bad enough pain, you wouldn't sit there like, I don't know, is this relief actually within budget, or should I just wait till I have the money to fix this problem, or just suck it up forever? You wouldn't wait for the perfect time. I guarantee you that right now. You would fix it immediately because the pain is so intolerable. It doesn't matter if you even have the money in your account. You would find a way to fix that pain. Your eyeball is a small, like literally quarter-sized inconvenience in the grand scheme of your life. I mean, your career? That's your income. That is the income that you need to pay for the treatment for your eyeball. Your career is your future. That shapes your future. Your future depends on the income to have a future. Not to mention that your career is a huge part of your identity. And yet, somehow, you're willing to sit in your career pain for years in burnout, in dread, in feeling trapped, in feeling like you're wasting your potential. You normalize it. You call it being responsible. You gaslight yourself into believing this is just how adulthood feels. And the difference isn't the pain, it's what you've been taught that you're allowed to actually take seriously. If you think people at your 9-to-5 job won't take you seriously if they know you perform on the side, corporate by day, performer by night, that belief didn't come out of nowhere. I hear this from clients all the time. If people at my day job knew that I performed, they wouldn't take me seriously. So you split yourself in two. There's the professional you at work, and then there's the performer you that comes alive after hours. You start code switching your identity, editing your personality, and overall downplaying the thing that actually gives you the most confidence. This belief doesn't come from professionalism. It comes from internal shame around creativity, around ambition, about being your authentic self. Being a performer doesn't make you less professional. Being unreliable does. Being disrespectful does. Being inauthentic does. Being bad at your job does. The real impact of hiding is internal. You start feeling fake at work and guilty about your art, like you're never fully allowed to be one whole person anywhere. Hear me out when I say you can be competent at your job and still be a serious artist. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Performers, I am so ecstatic to announce the release of my third book dedicated 100% to you. This is it. This book is for performers who are tired of being consumed. After talking to hundreds of performers, I realized something kind of wild. We don't all have the exact same childhoods, but we have eerily similar psychology. Different stories, but the same patterns. Being praised for being impressive. Learning early that being entertaining is what makes you safe. Confusing visibility with value and feeling disposable the moment the applause stops. And that wiring follows you into adulthood. It becomes your business model. Overgiving, undercharging, tolerating being treated like background noise because at least you're being chosen for once. Proving your worth to rooms that forget you the moment the lights go out. Unfuckwithable isn't about breaking that conditioning. It's about unlearning the belief that you only matter when you're performing. It's about what happens when you stop letting the room decide who you are. I didn't write this for casual readers. I wrote it for performers who are ready to stop being consumable and start being unfuckwithable. As I mentioned, I didn't write this book for just anyone to enjoy, but if anything I said about this book really struck a nerve, I highly encourage you to check this out. The link is in my bio to get yourself a copy and to start really making those mental changes in your life, because this really is designed to impact beyond what we do here. Every March, I see so many dreamers, and let us not exclude single people, joking about getting lucky. Performers do the same thing with their careers, just swapping romance for resumes or websites. They're not building careers, they're buying lottery tickets with the one non-renewable resource, which is their time. Just waiting for a lucky booking, a lucky DM, a lucky algorithm, a lucky break, a lucky mood swing. And that's not hope. That is so distinctly avoidance with a green hat on. If your plan requires the universe to cooperate, you don't have a plan. You have vibes and a prayer. The performers who work consistently don't get lucky, they build systems that make luck irrelevant. If your career doesn't feel aligned, it's because your strategy isn't aligned. Random inputs create random results. Even in order to find the pot of gold, you have to chase the rainbow. I see performers still charging $75, $50, $100, $150, even $0 for hours and hours of prep, travel, gear, risk, actual skill, and so much more. This is the stuff that literally haunts me at night. For professional level gigs, your baseline should be multiple hundreds minimum. Some of y'all are all stressed about politics. Some of y'all are all stressed about that dude. I am stressed about the fact that for specialty acts, custom work, fire, aerial, immersive performances, you should be charging high hundreds up to 4 figures. And you're out there just giving it away for free, or really cheap. Okay, but like, how does this affect me personally? This does affect me personally. This affects every single person in the performing community. Bookers know how much you are actually worth. They just hope that you don't know. And truth is, I think you do know. You're just too scared to charge it. Listen to me when I say you are not a service. You are an outcome provider. You're hired solely to transform the energy of a room. And if those numbers feel shocking, that's not because they're wrong. It's because you've been normalized to being underpaid. If your rates don't reflect the outcomes you create, your pricing floor is the problem. I will have you know, though, that if you don't approach your pitch correctly with your upgraded pricing, you're gonna fall flat on your face. If you keep announcing your goals, you're stealing your own momentum. For the longest time, I didn't realize how much energy I was bleeding by talking about what I was going to do. And the moment that I stopped narrating my life, my productivity spiked. Less explaining, less performing progress, more actual progress. Silence removed the pressure to look like I was moving. And instead, it forced me to actually move. I want to challenge you this week. The next time you're about to tell somebody something exciting that you're gonna do, stay silent instead and put that energy and that momentum toward the project itself. Move in silence and let the results make the noise. You know what? No matter what stage you're in, somebody will always tell you it's the wrong time. When I was 17, no matter what I tried, I was told I was too young to be taken seriously. The moment I turned 19, I thought I was a fully grown adult and people would take me seriously. Lo and behold, I got told I was too old. Too old. At 19 years old. I mean, God forbid I lived the rest of my life at that point. Last year, I planned an event with 9 months' notice, and I was told that wasn't nearly enough time. So now, I'm currently planning an even larger event, a year and a half out. And guess what I'm being told? I'm being told that it's too soon, and that I should wait until 6 months out, which is 3 months less than the 9 months that were supposedly not enough time, and this is a larger project. Make it make sense, but you know what? It doesn't, because there is no logic to it. The pattern finally clicked for me. The goalpost isn't even real. It just moves wherever your momentum makes people uncomfortable. Sometimes it's about logistics, but almost always it's about their own psychology. Either way, you can't build your life around other people's comfort. I didn't stop going and building because of the rejection. I just kept moving forward until the right people could see the wave I was already riding. Don't wait for the perfect conditions projected at you, and also don't sink in the rejection. Listen, maintain momentum until the conditions catch up to you. People don't just thank me after shows. Even when I tell them what I do, they oftentimes thank me. And it still catches me off guard every time. I literally have people say, "Thank you for what you do." And I'm like, there are people out here healing bodies, literally changing lives, doing absolute life-saving work. And I'm over here like, I'm an entertainer. Yeah, like I perform for attention. It's fulfilling my childhood wounds. Though I know performing is not that shallow, it's how it feels sometimes. But the more that I sit with it, the more that I realize something. People aren't thanking me because I'm some sort of hero. They're thanking me because I gave them a moment to breathe, to feel something, and to get in touch with that emotion that they're actually feeling for the first time since who knows when. I gave them an escape to their own head for 5 minutes in a world where everyone is carrying something heavy. Performers being a place that someone can exhale matters so much more than we realize. You don't have to save lives to have impact. Sometimes creating a moment of light in someone's day and the life that they're already living is the thing that actually keeps them going.